Hi, thanks for joining us. And we are here building the Audacity Conference as Women in Web3. I'm here with my co host and co organizer, Natanya. Thank you again for joining me, Natanya. This is great. Our Friday date.
I know, I love it. Hi, Stephanie.
We
Always a
talk,
highlight.
sorry, I was just that we talk all week long on WhatsApp, leaving voice notes for one another.
Exactly.
And then we only get to see each other, well, twice. We have a video meeting early in the week, and then this is our time to share with everyone what we've been working on, our building in public, which
Yeah,
has been
exactly.
kind of
Super exciting.
exciting and a little scary, but
That's
right.
true. Yeah, that's true.
Good.
But we've been saying it's always great to sort of recap because we've had these moments where we were surprised at what has happened, in the past week. So I think it's helpful for both us and everybody who's, thinking of maybe attending or is curious about the conference. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm happy to be here and do this with you on a weekly basis. It's really cool.
Yeah, this is great. This building in public thing, people. This is it. You gotta do it. Well, it helps. I think more than anything, it helps keep you on track. If you know you have to go live once a week and talk about your project and what you're working on, you can't slack. You
Exactly.
know,
Exactly. It's
it's really
accountability.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
So we're going to start with a little tour of the space. So just to give a quick overview for those of you that are new that haven't tuned in before, we are holding a women's empowerment conference in the metaverse, in the On Cyber metaverse, and it's taking place February 24th, 2023.
Hmm.
And we have several ways for people to get involved, which we're going to get into after Natanya shows us around the possible space we're going to be using. And there's a number of different ways, whether that's as an attendee, as an exhibitor. We have two different opportunities for artists, female artists, to get involved. So it's like a really exciting project, I think, because you don't have to be in the Web3 space to get involved. So if you're like, I don't know, not my thing, I don't know, you can still be a part of this,
Hmm.
if even if this isn't necessarily something you're super interested in at this time. But I promise, I think you will be, and we're gonna try our hardest to get you guys that are on the fence about this to embrace all that it can be, and I think ultimately because you can make it whatever you want it to be, and this is what we're trying to show is that we're creating this space and creating this conference, and it is whatever we want it to be. So that's
Hmm.
the beauty of Web3, that you can do this.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're really sort of trying to bridge the gap or make it as comfortable as possible for
Mhm.
everybody who hasn't attended a digital conference before.
Yes.
So, and I think the word metaverse on its own sometimes is just scary.
Right.
Like
Right.
I've shared before, I mean, at the beginning of this year, I was very opposed to anything metaversey,
Hmm.
and now we're building in it. So it's like I'm with anybody who's sort of opposed to it and needs to warm up to it. Like I totally understand.
Hmm.
um, and I think this is what these sessions are for, to sort of really get an idea of what it is and to realize it's not as scary, it's not as foreign. And there's many, like you're saying, there's many ways to get involved, and maybe ways that one is comfortable with.
Hmm.
So yeah, absolutely. And I think so what we're going to do now is um, jump over into the metaverse and just sort of show you which spaces we'll be using and curating. So there's two spaces we've chosen. One is where the speaker hall or the speaker conference is taking place, and then there's another space for the galleries. And we'll talk a little bit more about what's involved in terms of the galleries.
Hmm.
But I think it's helpful just to jump in on the space and actually see it.
Yes.
Let me see to get this up here. Okay, can you see this, Stephanie?
There we go.
Okay.
We're up now.
Okay. So here on the top left corner, you see the search bar. So the site I'm on right now is oncyber.io/station. And then I click to enter, and then I have a little avatar that I can move around with. And then it says down here, press C to switch views. So if I press C, they have these new funny avatars. So this is me
Radio station XYZ
using the avatar to move around.
Volume 2, baby. Let's go.
There's music.
Now look here.
Okay. And okay, so this is the space when you get in. You land here with your avatar and you start walking. And this is the space that we call the station. We'll rename it, but this is where we will be exhibiting. So there's sort of it's divided, I would say, into 3 rooms almost. So here you sort of have the general room, which I'll just make around here, which is probably where we will be exhibiting. So where we have female artists exhibiting their art. And this is sort of where it looks like, what it looks like. If I look up, I see a bit of the sky. We have a wooden floor. We have different walls to curate and fill. Over here, we have a cute little room that we are still discussing what we're going to do with it. We might create a Zen room with it. That is still open. So there's lots of possibilities here and lots of space to hang different art from different female artists. So that is sort of this middle part is, I would say, the art gallery. And then we have a room over here that we will use for a different purpose. So we have 2 other sort of spaces in mind, and one is an exhibitor space where people can exhibit their projects or businesses. So this could be a room for that, for example. And then we have, if we walk across the room over here, there's another space.
Let me tell
you can see you can have music as well in the room. There's music in here. So that's another space to exhibit. And what our thinking is at the moment is probably to use that space for what we call we have a very special thing we'll talk about just now, which is the AWEdacity. What do we call it? The
art gallery or the award?
The award for the nominees.
Audacious Woman 2023.
Audacious Woman 2023, exactly.
That's the award.
Yeah, exactly. So these are sort of the 3 different spaces we can utilize, and that we have sort of planned for. And then we have the second space that will be connected via a portal similar to this one, where you press when you move in front of it. It's called the catacombs. This is where we will have the sort of the stage where the presentation is held. And to move into a portal like this, you press E and the forward button, and then you sort of are able to move into a different room. So this is what is officially called the catacombs. And this is what we've decided to use as our second space and make it the speaker's hall, where we will set up a stage, right?
Yep.
where the presentations are held. So visualize it empty. Right now it's being used for a gallery. We will receive it empty and then curate it to fit our purposes. Yeah. Is there anything you want to say to this still, Stephanie?
No, this looks great. I'm really excited. And just, so this is someone else's space that's currently being used. So we're going to have, essentially the architecture, right, of the space will be the same. But what you're seeing here, the images, the music, whatever, that's not going to be there. What's going to be replaced with, we're going to curate it with our own artwork and music and what have you. This is just just to give you an example of what it's going to look like.
Exactly. And like we said before, I think we will be able to avail the space and do little tours before the conference for people to familiarize themselves with the space and get comfortable with moving around with the avatar. It does take a little bit of practice, but it's not difficult as it might look. What is cool as well is here on the left side where it says write message, you can chat with whoever else is in the space. So I can type here, and so you can write and chat with people that are in the space with you. There is an option for voice. So here in the middle, here down here with the microphone, I can request for voice, which means theoretically one could have conversations just like we're doing now in this space, which depending on the number of attendees is sometimes not feasible, because if there's too many people in one room speaking, it just doesn't make any sense. So we'll probably be using the chat on the left-hand side for communication, but I think we'll leave that open still. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yes, there's different modes to enter the room. And at the conference, it will be multiplayer, which means you see everybody else that's in the room. Right now, I'm on my own in here. But yeah.
Very cool.
And yeah, that's it. Let me get back to stop sharing. There we go.
I love it. I love the space. So I'm excited to see where that's going to look like when we start getting our stuff in there. So it's going to be
know.
So then, that the question is, where are we going to be getting this, these images and this art to put in here? And that's where you all come in. So we have a couple of opportunities. I included some links here in the chat. So we have, as far as artwork goes, we have 2 different opportunities to get involved with art. One, we're having a ticket art contest where you can submit a piece of original art or photography, and we will be using it as our digital ticket. So the tickets are digital, but there'll be an image attached. And like I said, it can be art, it can be photography. Only 2 requirements. 1, it has to be original, your artwork. And 2, it has to have the AWEdacity 2023 wording on it somewhere. I mean, you can literally create a piece of artwork that's AWEdacity 2023, that's the focal point of it, or it can just be written along the side, almost like an artist signature. It doesn't really matter to us that much, but just we want that AWEdacity 2023 branding on there because it's the ticket to the event. So, and it can be something that you created, a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. What we're looking for is art that will, that you believe demonstrates what AWEdacity means to you, right? And what it means to us is the passion that's ignited when you're pursuing audacious goals, like holding conferences in the metaverse. So that, what does that mean to you? That, kind of, I keep saying like this combination of like this terrified excitement, like roller coaster feeling. So if you have a piece of art already or want to create a piece of art or photography that captures what that means to you, we would love to see it. And the link is here for under ticket art. So if you click that link, it will take you to a submission form. just enter some very basic information, and you can enter as many pieces as you like, but you can only enter 5 pieces of art per form, just because we don't want to overload the software. The other way you can get involved is if you want to have your art exhibited in our gallery. We're going to have a gallery of female artists. And again, as long as it's digital, it can be art, photography, whatever it is, but it needs to be digitized in some way so we can display it. And that's not a contest of any kind. I mean, we're essentially, if we have maybe too many submissions, we might have to get choosy, but we really want to get, we want to get people involved. So the link to that is under Art Gallery. Same thing, you can upload 5 pieces per submission, and it has just a few details about yourself. That there's no theme for that. It's whatever you would like. There's nothing. There's no other guidelines for that. But getting back to the ticket art, I just forgot and I remembered. The ticket art does need to be in SVG or what's the other one?
I have it open here. 2048 times 2048 PNG.
Yep. And it needs to be PNG or SVG. So there's a couple of file formatting things, and that's because of the ticketing software people that we're using. Those are their requirements. But as far as the art gallery, that's fairly open. And the other way that you can get involved, we're also going to be awarding the Audacious Woman 2023 Award, which is to celebrate a woman who captures the spirit of what we're trying to achieve here. Is like, pursuit of unconventional goals, excitement, overcome something in her life, someone to celebrate, someone to look up to. So there is a form there to fill out, and you can nominate yourself, you can nominate a friend. And I think the best part that's going to come about that, of course, aside from the award, but the best part about that is that we're going to end up with a gallery of submissions that you can view. And you can look at all of these women that have accomplished something, overcome something, have audacious goals, something that will inspire and empower you to do big things in your life. So that's kind of what our goal for all of this. We talked about, different taglines, about trying to get people to see the vision, see our vision of what we're trying to do. And the tagline that we've sort of been sticking with is, to transform women's lives by igniting the awe-inspiring passion that comes from the pursuit of audacious goals. And I wish we could shorten that, but I don't know how we can, because that's really kind of what it's.
Yeah.
So
The
that's
essence of it. Yeah.
Those are the ways that you can get involved. And I know it's the end of the year, and I know everyone's busy. So, we're going to be hitting this after the new year. So, don't worry if you don't forget about this or whatever. We're going to be back on here every week talking about it. We're going to be building this out more and talking to you guys about it more and posting about it more to get people excited. And in addition, we're also going to be rolling out the exhibitor submission form where you can get a digital space, so just like when you have a conference, you can rent an exhibitor's booth. We're going to have a digital booth. So it's essentially going to be like almost like a frame where you can, if you have a sales video about, your product, and it doesn't have to even be a product. It could be a passion project. If there's something that you're passionate about, if you have a nonprofit that you support, or, whatever it might be, it doesn't have to be just for business, but something that you want to get in, people's eyes on. You'll be able to do that as well in the exhibitors gallery, and that will be rolling out soon, as well as tickets and all the things. We've got, lots of moving parts, but we're hoping that we can kind of bring them all together and eventually get everything up and live on the website, with all the links, all the things, everything all in one place, which is going to be to be honest, that's my project over the next few days. One place for you to find everything. And if you have no idea and you're like, I don't know, this is too much, just go to audacityconference.com, and that's the wait list. And you have the option there of selecting if you are interested in attending or exhibiting or art or whatever. It's got, a few different tabs for you to choose. And it's just going to collect your email address And then that takes the pressure off you, because then we will send you an email and say, hello, you said you were interested, how would you like to get involved? So it's, if you want to just take that route, probably be easy as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great summary. And I think, and you've been doing amazing because you've been putting all these forms together and working on the website. And I think that's such a huge part of it, because it just simplifies it for people, knowing where to go, what to fill out, what the requirements are, which is fantastic. And I just want to highlight on the ticket art, that is a contest. So I find that super exciting, right? Because we're looking for female artists. And to have your art represented on the ticket, of course, is super special, right? Because everybody and anybody attending the conference will, as they purchase the ticket, they're also purchasing your art on the ticket. So,
Right.
your name will be represented, and it creates awareness, I think, around your art, your art, I guess. And we did say, since it's a contest and whichever art is chosen, we haven't decided if we're choosing one art for all the tickets or if we're choosing 2 or 3 artists for the tickets, because we do have that option. But whoever is being chosen gets 2 free tickets, right, to the conference.
I just opened that up. We're right on the same page.
Okay, awesome. And on top of that, your art will be displayed in the gallery, and if you like, you can put it out for sale as well. That will be up to you. But so those are sort of the perks of having your art chosen for the ticket art.
Yes.
That you get 2 free tickets that you can, invite a friend, your partner, whatever it is. So yeah, that is super exciting.
And also for the Audacious Woman Award, which we'll be announcing at 8 p.m. So the conference, as I said, was February 24th, 2023, from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But at 8 p.m., we're going to be announcing the Audacious Woman 2023 Award. And the prize is you'll get a commemorative, I guess is the best way to put it, like sort of a commemorative, NFT award, like a digital award, right? Which has, that you have won this. And we're right now in the process of working with the jewelry designer to come up with some sort of piece that sort of captures the spirit of all of this. That's going to have a fun little scannable thing that's going to take you right to so you can say, I won this major award, take a look. And then people can scan it, and then you can actually see it on the blockchain, which for those of you that are not Web3 people, you might be like, whatever, what's the big deal? But you can still see it. Like, it doesn't, it's the fact that it's on the blockchain is irrelevant. Like you'll have this award, you can scan it, it'll open up in your browser, and you'll be able to view it, which I think is kind of a cool thing, a little bit different and kind of fun. So we've got a lot of things we're working on. If any of you, again, like I said, we have multiple ways for people to get involved. If you happen to have something that strikes you that you might think would be interesting, definitely give us a shout. And maybe something that, would be very easy to implement. But like I said, we're really looking for this to be something for the community, something for, for the community of women across the globe to get involved and get excited and get inspired by one another, and have some women that we can collectively, look up to. I think there's kind of a lot of, I don't want to get too political or philosophical about it, but when you look at like who are these women that we're supposed to be emulating, a lot of the women that are put before us in social media are really not women that we really are not really inspiring. The most popular people are not always the ones that we want to model our lives after. So this is a way to find women in the world that are worth celebrating. And that's what we, I think, are kind of focused on, finding women that deserve to be celebrated, that really have, that, people, right?
And also where it's a thing of, oh, that could be me, or, oh, I've gone through that, right? Or I've experienced that, or it's not so far out in the distance. It's really something that, oh wow, yeah, that that's speaks to you, I think.
Yes.
And I think that's very valuable
Hmm.
to feel like, yeah, there's other people out there that have overcome something similar, right? And often, like I think what you're mentioning with social media, it's hard to even reach.
Mm.
It's so far off at times what we're being shown, um, or what we should be aiming for or attaining or whatever. And I
Hmm.
think this is the idea, is really sort of to bring it closer
Yes.
to, yeah, and feel like, hey, we, all of us, we know we know amazing women,
Yeah.
and that's what we want to highlight and celebrate.
Yes. And that's the way, the way to do that is, like it or not, this is the way that we can connect across the globe. You're not
Yeah,
going to run into like Natanya. I wouldn't have run into Natanya in my local coffee shop. And I'm like, wow, this is a really amazing woman. It took the magic of the internet to bring her
yeah,
into my life. Right. So
yeah,
it's like, this is the way to kind of do this on a global level and be
yeah,
able to see these women, celebrate these women, see what they're about. Because
yeah,
you wouldn't have been able to really come across them any other way. So that's what
yeah.
we're hoping to do.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, I love it.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up here unless you have anything else, Natanya.
No, I think that's good. We've looked at the spaces, we've looked at the different, right, ways of getting involved. All the links are here.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it for today.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll be back next Friday for
Yes.
more fun. So come on back, and Happy New Year, everyone.
Oh, yes. It's last Friday of the year today.
Last Friday
Yeah.
of the year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. And we hope to see you back here next Friday.
Yeah. In 2023.
20.
So,
Oh,
yes.
God, I can't believe it. 2023. Now I'm scared.
Happy
You
New
said
Year.
that, and I'm like, the conference is in 2023. I'm ready.
Oh, shit. It's so
Oh,
close. We
it's okay.
can't say next year anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
it's in a few weeks' time.
It felt really comfortable saying next year,
I
and
know.
that is now over. Thank you. So on that note, I'm just going to end it on a kind of note.
Exactly.
Uh-oh. No, we'll do it. We're committed. We want to bring you guys something amazing, and we're committed to doing it. So we will
Absolutely.
be back here next year, next week, and next year. Have a great
Yeah.
day.
Yes. Happy New Year.